They're the liberal rednecks. They like cornbread, but sex they care way too much, but don't give a fuck. They're the liberal rednecks that makes some people upset, but they got 3 big old dicks that you can suck.
With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. Well, with Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/wellred. That's mintmobile.com/wellred. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3 months plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Well, here we are.
Here we are. Drew, how fun was this weekend? I got sick and had to miss it. How was Chattanooga? How'd they treat you?
Oh, Chattanooga was great. Thanks for everybody who came out. Ran into some great folks. It was awesome, man. Danielle's really making the club her own and doing a great job. It was part of the Lookout Comedy Festival, and that was rad. Donnie, our old buddy Donnie Mars, does a real good job. There's some other people who help him. I don't want to overlook them, Courtney and Jeff and all those folks, but Donnie's our old buddy.
Greenspan,
I think it's
yeah.
cool I think it's awesome that they've got a festival going there in Chattanooga. I think it's the perfect city for a festival of that size, and the fact that Danielle's smart enough to be in on it, you know, it was fun. Do you guys know who Nick Murphy is?
Yeah.
Nick Murphy's a young comic who he headlined the auxiliary show. He does not yet have a following larger than mine. He will in the next 6 to 8 months. He's just one of those dudes, and he's in the vein of Gillis, so the timing is right. He's like real, I guess, like edgy, but not just for the sake of it. Anyway,
dickhead about it. Yeah,
I got to hang out with him, and it was a good time. And then I went to Laughing Skull, honestly, the rest of the weekend, and that's sort of on the other end of the spectrum. That's a very industry-heavy, top-tier, quote-unquote, festival. I had a fun time there. The comics were great. A lot of the industry I met were cool. You know, you never tell about those. Everybody was on their best behavior until the industry left, and then everyone started doing drugs and trying to fuck each other, and I had to go home anyway.
It's funny how we're always like on our best behavior in front of the industry when, like, you know, you find out the stories across the years where it's like, oh, the industry, they're the worst ones. You know what I mean? They're the ones doing all the drugs. And
it's very funny. It's very funny for some. I don't care. I don't want to associate y'all with this, but I don't give a shit. He's not going to let me on anyway. It's very funny to see someone be like, I should not have more than 2 drinks in front of Michael Cox, the known. We won't go far. He's never broken a law, but the known dickhead when it comes to women, we'll say that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The known.
No, but no one even knows who you're talking about, by the way.
Right.
Who's listening.
The known dickhead. That's so fucking that just reminded me of Blazing Saddles when she's giving the speech and she's like, and you, sir, are the #1 asshole in the state.
My whole thing with him is, you know, whatever, you know, he can do any of that shit he wants to as far as I'm concerned. I just don't like the fact that I've heard from multiple people that if they know me and I come up, he always talks about how great I am, but yet I don't actually hit for him. So that's I don't know. That's the real crime.
I actually don't know if I know this guy. I've forgotten him.
He's a high level booker.
Yeah. Well, of course I don't know.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah, of course I don't.
But yeah,
know.
no.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Mike James and people like that will tell me that like they ran into him and like, dude, he loves you. He's a big fan of you. We haven't heard our chances. That's you could have fooled me.
All he has to do is snap his fingers
because he don't like you. It's the same thing with me. Like, I would have not said that if I thought I had a chance, but I murdered. But I was talking about queers.
I just would never.
People call me queer, and like,
I know.
Republicans don't fucking hit for me.
I still get the whole, like, I know we've talked about this a million times, but it never ceases to be funny because I still have people that come up to me and they're like, hey man, have you ever thought about like doing the Tonight Show? You know what I mean? And I'm like, but like at this point, I always tell them, I was like, guys, I'm not. Dude,
that's my favorite one.
I finally stopped telling everybody like, hey, I audition almost every year and I just don't get it. I've stopped. I'm like, oh yeah, great. But like,
what do y'all think's like the hittingest part of this country aesthetically?
The Pacific Northwest.
Just
Yeah,
the
probably that.
Yeah, or just like the Rockies really hit.
Well, see, I was about to say, the reason I ask is because, like, I just had a little 3-day run where I went to Durango, Colorado, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Flagstaff, Arizona.
Flagstaff
you got it all there.
And bro, if every run was like that, it would be like the hitness lifestyle a person could possibly have. I think.
Yeah.
It's just
then you got to go to Des Moines.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
but
but
good people to Des
you
Moines,
also-
Funny Bone, they deserve to laugh too.
I love
But
the
yes.
people of Des Moines, but
You
like,
also have to do.
You said aesthetic.
That in October, though. You try that in January, you might be like, I would rather die than continue to be.
Well, here it was snowing in Flagstaff. It was cold on the trip, and we're at Elevate, and I have a cold now. Like I got sick. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like they say is an old wives' tale or whatever.
not.
They're like
old wives were right.
Yeah, where people say like, when the winter snaps or the weather changes, it gets real cold. Like what you'll get sick, and people are like, that ain't really how that works. I swear to God.
Then why do
I'm
I every
convinced
time?
that it's how it works? Because that's the first time I'd encountered cold, and I went from Southern California, 80 degrees, to it's cold now, and now 3 days later I'm sick.
I'm sure that there's some people that don't happen to, and they're the assholes that go, that's
Right.
just an old wives' tale. But like, dude, that's literally just happened like that every year. It happens and I know because it's such a fall from like, I get so excited that the weather changes, and then I always immediately get sick and go, oh, right.
But
hold on.
anyway,
we have podcast ADD. I understand it was cold this time, but imagine how much worse it would have been in February.
Yeah, I know. But what
Aesthetically,
it still would have been pretty, but
Yeah, but you're talking about how much it hit to do your job this particular way.
yeah.
I was thinking about this.
Look, I go to Des Moines in February. Okay, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Dude, you remember
I know
Wisconsin?
exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
That's where my family's from.
Trae, do you remember
Amber's family.
Wisconsin in February?
I was thinking about this the other day. This is kind of it goes along with your question, but it's like, what's the place that's the most aesthetically pleasing versus how much it actually kind of don't hit? You know what I mean? The stark contrast. And for me, that is Salt Lake City. Like aesthetically, that place fucking rules. But being there don't hit for me.
I was thinking Salina, Tennessee, but yeah.
Yeah, dude. Hey, them Tennessee Hills, baby.
Salt Lake City's a good one too. I mean, honestly, you can make this case. I don't know much, obviously New Mexico and Arizona both have a lot of issues, I think, but like those two towns are both sweet, Santa Fe and Flagstaff. But I was just thinking, cause like it's all mountains. You drive from Colorado into New Mexico, and you're in northern New Mexico. You think of New Mexico, you think of like sepia tone tumbleweeds and shit.
Walter White,
yeah. But if you come in from up north, it's like mountains and green
super
and
hits.
Beautiful. And then if you drive from Santa Fe to Flagstaff, you get on 40, which is going through the desert. But now you got those big red mesas and shit, like the hidden desert topography. And then when you get into Flagstaff, you go back up into the mountains, and it's like one of the biggest pine forests in the country or something. And that's all that's there in a little.
This country should hit.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. It's just every time I'm in a place like that, it's like, goddamn, this country, like in terms of that stuff, this country's super. Because I was thinking about that versus
because we're 19 different countries.
I was thinking about that versus like New England in the summertime, like Maine in the summertime and places like, and how like incredibly different they are, but how they're both like just supremely fucking awesome.
Oh man, Vermont when the foliage comes in,
Vermont in the fall.
Shit,
there's just a lot of parts of this country really slap.
So hard.
Yeah.
If you drive from the Sequoias to
Portland.
Shit. Yeah, what's the other big reds? The tall ones.
Redwoods. What's those other big redwood things? Yeah, redwoods. Yeah, that are in California. What's those big red wood things are in California? You talking about the California redwoods?
No, those are Sequoias, I think.
Where they shot Star Wars.
I mean, I'm tree dumb. I just know that redwoods are a thing, and the way you phrased that was funny.
I know. I was trying to think of it, and I was like, no, there's a name of them, but maybe there's not. Anyway, because there's the fat ones, that's the Sequoias, and those are in California. Then there's the tall ones, and I think maybe in the top of California, you're probably right, but most of those are above. Anyway, there to Portland, and then even up to Seattle and over to like where'd we do that time? Spokane. Whew. Buddy.
You ever see
it even
someone?
smells better than the rest of America, and I mean,
Yeah,
and I'm
it does.
including woods. I'm not just talking about L.A.
It washes all the stink away. All that
It
rain
do.
up there.
It do. It wash all the.
There's the smell,
And it's a lot of stink up
post-rain-
there too.
There's a post-rain smell that I think trees release, and
Yeah.
there's more of it there.
Yeah, it hits.
Yeah,
Like when
and again,
oh my
it's
God,
because they got all them hippies and stuff
Stank.
up there to be
When-
to distribute the stank distribution system. But
I
all
know,
that
I'm
rain,
tired. You know what? I'm tired of y'all's slander on the stinking hippies. Now, I'm not saying Portland don't stink, but that I
Yeah.
think we can mostly blame on the addicts pissing themselves on the street because their fucking fentanyl was not dosed correctly. You know,
that
Shout
also
out my
smelled
brother.
bad.
But
Yeah.
I feel like hippies, real hippies, it's like your hair when you don't wash it. If you can wait it out,
Yeah,
it gets like its
bummer.
own thing. I think that happens with the human body because I always said day 2 of Bonnaroo is the worst stank, and by like day 3 and 4, it's like something else happens and it's fine.
Well, your nose gets caked in stank, and it just sort of like you get used to it. It's like, I mean, I'm sure if you stayed in a room with a dead body for 5 hours, eventually you'd be fine.
This year I showed up on day 3, and I felt like everyone smelled good. I felt
yeah,
like
but you
it was-
like
You love
stank.
stank,
You
though.
love stank. Stank hits for you.
stank does hit for you.
y'all are 2 of the stankingest motherfuckers.
I
ever.
do not. Hold on. When I fart, it stank, but I am
Yes.
a clean man.
That's
I
what I was
shower my
talking about.
ass off.
That's what I was
Okay.
talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. My butt do stink. Yeah.
Well, I'm just.
By
I
the way,
just
that's how I know I'm still sick, by the way. I've been sick for 3 days, and I was like, I think I'm getting over it. And then I farted, and I was like, the fart be letting you know.
yeah, the far late.
When you get like a cold, a head cold or something, does it fuck your guts up too a little bit?
Yeah, oh, yeah, the drainage. The drainage.
Is
It
that
does.
what? Because
Yes.
that I'm always
It'll
that
make
part,
me puke.
That part always pisses me off because I'm like, I feel like I ought not have to do all this at the same
No,
time.
it's the
you know?
drainage. It's what
Yeah.
it happened to Bane too. I thought he was like legit sick, and they were like, no, he's just so stuffy that it's the drainage, and babies don't know how to just, they don't know, they can't really do that. So it just all gets in them, and then they fucking puke. But yeah, dude, head colds may as well be the fucking flu because I get all the same symptoms anyways.
Did y'all
I have
know
a
that,
list, by the way. If y'all want to, I'll read this just so you can refer back to it, and then you continue your thought. Here's my list of things to talk about today: Trump McDonald's, Deshaun injury, and Willem Dafoe has a scene in the new Nosferatu where there are 50 live rats on him. ... We are so back. So that's what I got. You go ahead.
I'm sure he kept asking for more rats.
Rats, yeah.
Excuse me. What Eggers? That's the director's name, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Eggers, can we get some more rats in here, please? The answer is always more rats with
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, and the rats were probably really freaked the fuck out.
Well,
the
some
whole
of them
time.
he brought from home. Those are his
right,
rats.
Yeah, but a lot of the rest of those rats are like, what the fuck is this dude's deal?
This guy?
The rats are like trying to escape Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
He does hit real hard though. Obviously,
Love him.
He's just a wild motherfucker. Sometimes I feel inclined to try to learn stuff a little bit of something. I saw something pop up on YouTube earlier about Andrew Tate, right? And
Andrew Tate, Icon or Toxic. That's a
Right.
show on HBO Max. I want to pull my brains out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's literally Andrew Tate, Icon or Toxic. And I'm like, you really had to do an hour to figure out the answer to that shit?
HBO's
Yes.
on the fence about that question.
I almost sent y'all a screenshot of that, and I was like, I'm aware that Andrew Tate is a popular man, but I kind of thought it was mostly the internet. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that he had broken through to like because like I guarantee you, the first my dad's hearing of Andrew Tate if he scrolls through HBO and is like, what the fuck is who the fuck is this guy?
I don't
But,
believe that.
No, for
Your
real.
dad
I'm
knows
telling you,
about
'cause-
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, but Tate's not on Rogan. He's not. He's like
He
in a
doesn't have to
completely
be. He's on your
separate.
dad's algorithm, cuz.
Yeah,
My
maybe.
dad started
but
watching. My dad started watching hunting videos on YouTube, and now knows
I
who
don't
Andrew
think-
Tate is.
I don't think Andrew Tate would hit for dad, even though that type, like that
Whether he
type.
hit for him or not, I'm saying
Yeah.
he's been shown him.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't think he'd know his name because my dad's very me, But
But-
yeah, no, he's got a HBO thing. Go ahead.
Do you know how he started out with like pimping them
MMA?
webcam girls out or whatever? Human
Oh, yeah.
trafficking, all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what and I saw a clip of him describing this himself. But you know, he's super homophobic. Everything's gay. Having sex with a woman is gay because they're soft,
Yeah.
and you know,
if they have muscles, you're definitely gay.
no, I think actually, it's like if wait, yeah, I can't remember where he landed on that.
He's definitely sucked a few dicks. Let's
Yeah, really,
just
but
say
anyway, when he was doing the webcam stuff, he used to sit on the computer while the girl was, you know, fingering herself or whatever on the webcam, and he like talked dirty to all the simps on the thing. Like
what?
Yeah, like because the girl was busy
Text
doing
wise?
stuff. Yeah, you know, like
Yeah.
they chat to each other.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
What hole do you want me to put the Skittles in next, Daddy?
Yeah, all that daddy stuff and all that. Like it was him doing it to these dudes while they jacked off and stuff, pretending to be the girl. But his whole and like he has his 13-year-old boy followers call him daddy now, and all this shit. And it's
I don't like that.
I mean, I don't like none of it. I'm just saying it's like it's funny how it's just also on the nose. How,
yeah, right.
You know how all that.
It sounds like something we'd make up to make him sound worse than he is, and it's
right.
He'd be
I
doing
cannot believe HBO is doing this. I mean, I guess I can because
no, me neither. That don't hit. Well, HBO if it's on Max,
it's on Max.
It
yeah,
could
which
be
is different.
from fucking what E or somewhere one of their other properties.
That's fair.
Investigation Discovery. So this why I think
fair.
That's why I think HBO had
They've had their brand sullied.
Removed from that app. I think is because of this. Is because they didn't want people thinking they were. But if actual HBO did that, I'm very disappointed in them. And
Hold on, I'll figure it out.
I want them to know that they'll be very hurt to find out that I'm upset with them, HBO. But yeah,
I'll be right back. I'm about to shit myself.
Okay.
It's on Matt. Yeah, I think it's a Discovery Plus thing. It's not an HBO thing. Which that does make it way better for me. I apologize for even saying that because all I was on Max. I wasn't on. I have trouble separating the two because they made me call it 900 different things over the past couple years. You know.
Yeah. Nobody should ever change up the name of their website more than once Max.
Oh, shut the fuck up. They all go to the same thing. The old one goes to the same thing. The old one goes to the same fucking thing. God damn it.
Corey's working on his 7th URL right now, something like that.
Well, also, actually, this one does go to a different thing. I'm sorry, what'd you want me to do? Have the same domain for a different thing? How the fuck does that work? You fucking piece of shit. You know it's different. Well, also, you know what, man? I'll say, let me take this fucking angle. Oh, so HBO's fucking stupid, and me, I'm stupid like them. They're fucking one of the biggest brands in the world. Clearly, it's not that bad of an idea to rebrand every now and then. Swerve, the weave. It was the weave.
Well, yeah, I don't think that. I think they did it because they were getting lumped in. If you rebranded to get away from me and Drew, because you thought we was dragging you down, that would then but what's be more crazy, akin to what HBO's doing.
But HBO Max. But the thing is this wasn't the first one. At first, it was like there was the HBO.
Go.
There was HBO Now. That was like the first one.
Was, the Go. I'm pretty sure Go was the first one. I think we went HBO Go, then HBO Now. All of those were just HBO though.
No, I know that, but I'm saying that's what's weirder to me is like they was like I don't know what.
Well, they got obtained in that big, huge merger between like Warner Brothers and AT&T and all that shit when David Zasloff.
That's when it became Max, right? HBO Max.
Yes,
I know why
merged.
that changed. I don't know why the Go and the Now was ever a thing. Also, I don't know why.
HBO Go. I've always been a big time HBO person. I'm sure it's riveting for people, but I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly,
I think they share
HBO
in
Go
being pissed off.
HBO Go used to be it was basically like you had to be an HBO subscriber.
That's accurate.
And then HBO Go was just the app you could watch it on, but you had to subscribe to HBO and you could use that app on your mobile devices or whatever.
Right.
Then HBO Now was a like a la carte direct. It, like you don't have to subscribe to us through some other means. You can just pay for this and get it that way. And that was the difference in those things. And then the merger happened and it became HBO Max, then Max, and now nothing hits.
Well, they got some real dog shit on there now.
Yeah, they sure do.
And yet won't buy a goddamn thing from us.
No, won't even think about it.
Won't put nan of our shit on there.
Nope.
How's that poop, buddy? Yeah, been there.
Wasn't awful.
Been there.
Do you watch the Nosferatu show with Willem Dafoe?
Hmm.
That's a Eggers movie. Right? Robert Eggers is his
Yeah.
name, I think. Is it Robert or Dave Eggers is a comedy guy, I think.
Hold on.
And
Well, I think Dave Eggers, he's comedy in that he ran that satire site. He's a novelist.
yeah,
Robert Eggers.
Robert Eggers is the director. But like, do you fuck with him? Do you watch
Like the
his
Lighthouse
shit?
and all that stuff. The only thing I've seen of his, I think I saw The Northman.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah. But I haven't seen The Lighthouse. I haven't seen The Witch, which The Lighthouse has been on my list for a long time because I'm such a huge fan of Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe and wild crazy shit. And I've heard that movie is about bugfuck as it gets.
It is.
It's because it's like they're just like in a lighthouse and they go insane, correct?
Pretty much.
Because those are two of the best possible people to cast in. Hey, there's two dudes and they go fucking insane. But no, I'm not really. I know all his stuff, but like a lot of it's like sort of scary. And I'm only just now getting. I've watched so many horror movies that everyone on Earth has seen, but I'm seeing them for the first time like this year because that's never been my bag. But Amber loves it, and so I'm like, you know what, man, quit hiding from it, face it.
Well, I want to hear more about that because it's October, it's spooky season. Katie likes spooky stuff. We've been watching a bunch of horror things with the boys, and they're both, they're about to be 12 and 13, and they're both like,
it's all stupid.
Every single thing we've watched. I mean, they like it hits for them, but they're all like, I thought you said that was scary. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary at all. Right. And so, which is fine, but like we're gonna finish the It movies tonight. The remade It movies. There was two of them. Chapter 2 is fucking 3 hours long. So
I still haven't seen it. I enjoyed the first one.
So they're great. Oh, so you saw the first remake?
Yeah, I did.
I was gonna say, because if you were still having that thing, I was thinking while watching it, if either one of y'all are still having that thing where it's like you got babies, so you can't handle any kind of fucked up shit happening to kids, even in movies and stuff, then don't
hard.
Watch those It movies because they're gnarly as hell. But then
you know what?
I don't know.
I've seen it since
they're
then.
Pretty rad. Like I'm surprised at how, because I had never watched them because I'm not a big horror guy either. But I love Stephen King though.
I do too, and that's why I always made exceptions for his stuff.
And so, but I watched it for the first time with them, and like they're really good. It's like a Stranger Things kind of vibe. It's like dark fantasy adventure more than just like pure.
Skarsgård crushes it too.
It's like a dark fairy tale is what it's like, and it's got that coming of age like Goonies, Stand by Me feel, but with a killer,
like Stranger Things
with
was
a
a good
killer
comp too.
Clown, right? Yeah, like
matter of fact, some of the Stranger kids are
one
in
of them
it.
is Finn Wolfhard is in it.
Yeah,
but anyway, they're just they're really good, and we watched Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities on Netflix, and that was pretty good too. I've never been a big horror guy either, but I've been watching a lot this month because Katie and the boys want to, and like some of it has been, most of it really has been hidden for me. Yeah,
we put and we've actually been reviewing them over at callback welovecorey.com. Me and my wife have been, but she wanted to. What we did was Amber sat down and she's like, "I'm going to list 15 horror movies. You list 15 horror movies." I'm going to write them down on a piece of paper, and she put them in a witch's hat. And so every night we don't have to make a decision. We just pull a hat, boom, we're watching this. And I told her a million times, like, this is just not my shit. But she wanted to do it so much that I was like, you know what, man, I ain't going to lie. For the most part, I control the tempo of the entertainment in our house, mainly because Amber's one of those, like, I don't care, whatever you want. You know what I mean? And I'm always like, I'm trying to find a compromise, but it's usually my selection. I was like, I'm going to fucking watch horror with you. But just know, I'm being a real good husband because this shit does not hit for me. And I've enjoyed the fuck out of everything. I think like it's just something I didn't like as a kid. And I just decided I don't like this. And I never, just like, any Southern white man, I was like, I'm never trying it again. Why would I do that? Why would I try something? And yeah, I've had a great, like, Five Nights at Freddy's was stupid, but I liked it. Like I enjoyed, and it kind of, honestly, it excited me because I go, holy fuck. There's so many movies now that I know are classics that I get to see for the first time that have just been there. Like Halloween. We watch Halloween. I'd never seen Halloween. It's fucking, I mean, dude, with these movies, it's like when there's a movie that sets the tropes, it's hard to watch it after you've seen, you know what I mean? Because you go, oh yeah, fucking walk a little bit faster. But it's like, well, these movies kind of invented it. But scary movies are fun because they're stupid. You know what I mean? Like they're dumb.
Yeah. What's the hittingest one you've watched?
If you want to count it, if you want to count Rocky Horror Picture Show, that one without question. And I'd seen a little bit of it when I was a kid because my papaw, I can't believe I'm about to say this, my papaw was a huge fan. My papaw Bobby loved Rocky Horror Picture Show. He loved Meatloaf. He was a big vinyl collector. And I just knew it as like the weird movie. I'm not kidding. It's in my top 10 greatest movies of all time. Now that I've seen it as an adult, it's phenomenal. Like it's such a good fucking movie. So that one, if we count it.
Have you seen Cabin in the Woods? Is that on your list?
I have not. I don't remember if Amber put that. Is it scary as fuck?
No, it's just I think if you've found this newfound appreciation for horror movies, I'm very confident you're gonna fucking love that movie.
Okay,
I don't want to tell you.
Is it rednecks in there?
No, that's Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That movie also hits. Yeah. I'm about to say that movie rules too. It is kind of similar. It's got comedic elements. I don't want to spoil it at all for you, but it's like one of the most clever horror movie. Like it's just great. It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's easily top 5 for me because I like that. I like meta shit and satirical shit and that sort of thing, and it's kind of like that. And it's absolutely fire. So definitely make sure you watch that. But anyway,
that was good. Like I said, that Rocky Horror Picture Show is the best one I've seen. But again, it's not. I mean, it is pretty fucking scary. It's got all the elements of scary, but obviously it's funny. You know. I really like Five Nights at Freddy's. Also, we watched shit on my dick, dude. We watched the last one we watched was Scary Movie. I hadn't seen that in a long time, and I was like very prepared for so much of it not to hold up. And I mean, a lot of it did not. But at the same time, like I did laugh my ass. I'm so glad that we did it. You know what I mean? And it's such a fucking time capsule movie, dude. Like it's one of those that when I say it don't hold up, I don't even necessarily mean like, oh yeah, because Sean Wayans, the whole joke the whole time is that he's gay, and they kind of play it too much, and it's like, hey, come on, we wouldn't do that now. I just mean like there's a whole gag that is referencing a Budweiser commercial of like, why that, you know? Like, nobody would even get that now. No 20-year-old you show that is going to even understand what the fuck is going on. But I did. And it was neat to feel like I was in 5th grade again. You know what I mean? Who's the girl that used to be married to Chris Pratt that plays in that movie?
Anna Faris.
Anna Faris. I
had
just watched that, and I was scrolling. And I don't know if my algorithm knew I'd watched it, but I was scrolling through Twitter, and I saw a collage of pictures of her from different movies. And someone tweeted, say what you will, but pound for pound, no one plays a better than this chick. And it's so fucking true, man. She crushes at that shit.
All right. Well, Joe, why don't you give them a word from our sponsor real quick?
Oh, my God. I tell you what. Listen, guys, here's the deal. A lot of times you're looking at your monthly expenses, you got your groceries, and you got all that stuff that you truly need. And one thing you don't need to be super expensive, well, that is your cell phone bill. So here's the deal. Say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages, because Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15. Yeah, I said it. $15 a month. Every single plan comes with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text. They're delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. By the way, also, you get to use your own phone and your phone number. You ain't got to change nothing except for the amount of money that you are paying. And by the way, and I always like to say this because as someone who has made it in the entertainment business, I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows. I always want to help out an up-and-comer. This company was started and is ran by an up-and-coming actor, great Ryan Reynolds. So you're not only getting a great deal, you're also helping support the arts and helping a guy who, you know, possibly needs a little help. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/wellred. That's mintmobile.com/wellred. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/wellred. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower, above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
All right. Drew, what do you think?
About scary movies?
Just about anything.
Yeah, I don't think much about them. Don't think much of them most of the time. I like Hitchcock.
Yeah.
I really like some of the funnier ones, like Night of the Living Dead. I saw some of those A24 films, and I like those. I think I hate being jump scared, which
Yeah.
knocked out
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of ones when we were younger. And then some things, I find them more disturbing than scary, and I have a hard time giving you an example. One, that my understanding is most horror fans think that this movie's stupid. But when I watched The Ring, and the first time she came out of TV and they found the victim and their face was blurry, the way it made me feel was not pleasant, and I turned it off and didn't ever want to think about it again. It was something
So-
like by blurring the face, she had done something beyond kill him, and I just didn't like it.
It's weird that people have pointed out a million times, especially in the era of Jordan Peele, since his rise to prominence and Get Out. A lot of people have jerked off the fact that horror and comedy are two sides of the same coin, people say, because it's about like
Reactions.
subverting expectations, taking people by surprise, things like that. I also think that another thing they have in common, Corey just kind of referenced this when he's talking about scary movie, is that they oftentimes don't age well. Because one of the movies we watched with the boys was we watched The Ring the other night. And that was the number one where they were like, I thought you said this was super scary, you know?
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I remember when we was kid or when it came out, everybody was like, "Fucking
I know. Well, that's what I was about to say. When that movie came out, it was a cultural phenomenon. People were like, "This is the scariest film ever made." Like people were passing out in the theater or whatever, and it was just a huge, huge thing. And I remember I watched it with like me and Thompson and our high school girlfriends and another couple or two in like a pitch dark room at somebody's house or whatever, and it was it was creepy as fuck. I mean, first of all, the whole premise of it is hilariously dated. Just the premise of it, because the premise of it is there's a haunted VHS tape that if you watch it, triggers a call to your landline telephone on which a ghost informs you're going to be murdered in 7 days, right? and then you got 7 days to figure it out or die. And it's like, but it just don't. I don't know. It just did not age well, in my opinion. It didn't seem really that scary at all to me anymore. It just didn't hold up for whatever reason. But a whole lot of them are like that, and a whole lot of comedies are like that too. And it's weird. I don't know what the difference is. Whereas like a movie like John Carpenter's The Thing, which first of all, I have a real soft spot for creature features anyway. I love monster shit or creature shit. But John Carpenter's The Thing is from like 1980, and it's a timeless all-time classic that'll never be, usurped as far as I'm concerned. But like Alien, can't not hit, same
Is that
thing.
scary? Or are you just talking about creature features?
The first Alien? Yes.
Yeah.
The first Alien is definitely a horror movie. Aliens is an action movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of people
whatever.
that
I don't
the
know,
alien
man.
busting through that chest.
Yeah.
I think I just don't like being scared, but there's a lot of horror films that don't make me feel that way. Like, I don't know. I've always liked psychological thrillers. I like some dark stuff. I don't even remember The Ring being scary. I just remember when it showed that blurred face, I didn't like how it made me feel, and I just didn't want to feel that way, and I turned it off. That was just an example. I liked Blair Witch Project. I had a fever of like 104 when I watched it. That made it crazier.
I hated that shit. That was one that I just watched.
I just really hate the ones I hate in a way that doesn't really apply to comedies or action flicks. Like, I think I've only ever hated one non-horror film, and that was a movie that a lot of people like called Existence that I didn't fucking get, and I tried so hard to get through it because the actors were hitters and everybody said it was great. I hate a scary movie when I hate it, and I hate it when they aren't accomplishing what they're going for, but it's not funny. Sometimes it's funny when they do that. And then I hate it when it's like, when it disturbs me, not like, and then I don't like being jump scared. I just think it's dumb.
I don't either.
Yeah, jump scares are cheap. You rewatched Blair Witch Project recently?
I had never seen it.
It don't hit, right?
No, it's and by the way, I will preface this by saying like it was one of those, a moment in time. The reason it was so scary to some people is everyone was convinced it was real. Naturally, I went into it. But dude, bruh,
I didn't think it was real.
It sucks. Like it fucking sucks. It's
saw
one of the worst
at the
movies
time.
I've ever seen.
I saw it at the time when it came out, and I saw it in the theater when all that crazy hype was going on where people were arguing, is this real? And I also knew it wasn't real. My dad ran a fucking video store. I had
Even
like
if it
magazine
was,
subscriptions and shit. But like people were losing their minds over that movie.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of people believe this really did happen. And
what happened?
Nothing
happens.
Even at the time I went and watched it and I was like, that is nothing even, it's just boring. Like nothing.
We could have done that.
Yeah.
Like nothing happens.
I mean, again, I had a fucking fever. I remember being crazy, but I remember enjoying all of that you guys said. I thought it was cool that people were arguing. I knew it was fake. I thought it was cool people were arguing about it. I thought it was cool that nothing happened. It felt kind of Hitchcock in a way where it was like the monster's not the scary part. It's waiting on the monster that's the scary part. And that had like a Hitchcock vibe to it. I mean, I'm sure if I went back and watched it, if it sucks as bad as you guys said it, I wouldn't feel that way. But
you wouldn't. I promise.
I just remember... Like that's part of why I liked Hitchcock. Outside of the birds, which was so wild and creepy, there was a lot of subtext and pace with those old horror films where they'd make you wait, and then the monster wasn't even who you thought it was. You know, I dig all that. I dig.
To me, the two scariest movies, and I'm basing this on me being a kid seeing them, but like the birds, I remember watching that when I was a kid because like Hitchcock was always on like TCM or something, and you know. It was just one of them channels that my granny had on the guest TV, and the birds freaked me the fuck out. But I also wildly, and it's on Peacock now, and I'm super pumped. But you remember the Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which were like 30-minute, little tiny story things. A lot of them are kind of more Black Mirror-y than they are like scary.
Well, I was going to bring up Black Mirror, man.
Well, so by the way, new season coming. But the two films that I remember being like, I can never watch these again because I'm so fucking terrified. Is The Birds. And shout back out to Stephen King, fucking Pet Cemetery, dog. That shit fucked. And I bet it's so dumb if I was to watch it now.
I think it's scarier than Pet Cemetery.
I'm sure it is.
The Mangler is the funniest, dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life. And it's a shame because the story's so good and it's right up my alley because it's a comment on class. It's like Stephen King does horror as a commentary on social class and like having
what movie is this?
Blue collar job. It's called The Mangler.
Oh, it's where work at a laundry machine.
Like it eats them.
Yeah, it's a haunted laundry machine.
Wait, didn't he have a haunted lawnmower too?
No. Well, so he made so he wrote a story called The Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Which, by the way, if you ever saw that movie, some of the worst CGI of all time, but also the movie is about some weird virtual reality AI type shit. Right? It's like futuristic sci-fi stuff, and he's just called the Lawnmower Man or whatever. The story is literally about a like a faun or like a satyr, like a demon, like a mythological demon guy who comes over to like mow this guy's yard by chewing it up, and it's really weird. But anyway, the movie literally has nothing to do with it. That's one of those things that you find out they can do when you're older, and you're like, that's so insane to me. Like, they paid for that name. They paid Stephen King for the rights to that story.
And that was it.
Just to literally take the name of it and put it on a completely, utterly, totally unrelated thing. And it's like, that just don't sit right with me that they even can do that. You know, it's like our boy Max Brooks, he wrote that awesome book, World War Z, which rules. They did the same thing with that book. They bought that book, and that Brad Pitt movie, that zombie movie that they made with Brad Pitt, it's not bad. It's actually not a bad movie, but it's just a zombie movie that they wanted put that name on.
Yeah.
And I don't get, that book is so awesome. I'm like, why?
IP, man.
Why
IP,
would
bro.
you do? I know, but if you're gonna make a zombie movie and buy that book, just make that fucking book.
Movie. I know.
Like, that book hits. That's what I don't get about it. But anyway,
let me tell you a movie that does, and I had seen this when I was a kid, but hadn't seen it. And like, it's a scary movie, sure. But not one that I've ever been scared of. What holds up as a fucking masterpiece? Nightmare Before Christmas. Goddamn, boy. I mean, that shit is just chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, Katie, that's one of Katie's favorite. Our Halloween decorations at our house are
Jack Skellington.
Yeah, and I mean, not just him, all the characters, the Oogie Boogie Man, and we got these she got these big wooden cutouts that you stick on rebar in the yard, and she got talking heads this year and all kinds of shit.
I love, by the way, Drew, that you had 104-degree fever and decided to watch the Blair Witch Project. Well, that's a choice.
I'm so glad you asked. My high school girlfriend came over, even though your boy was sick. She wanted to
Okay,
come
so this is then
take
okay.
care of him. We had to go downstairs into the basement in order for her to give me my medicine.
Yeah, of course.
And
So you were
that's
watching
what
Blair Witch Project while
we had
getting
it
your
rented.
dick sucked?
I bet it
and
hit.
with 104-degree fever.
Bet that movie hit.
Yeah.
The best movie I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense.
If I'm gonna be honest with you, I barely remember any of it. I just remember the next day being like, "Man, that was wild." But like, I also almost passed out walking up the stairs when she left.
Yeah. One time, this is on subject. I've told this on here before. I know I have, but it's been a really long time, I believe. So when I was in high school once, I had 104-degree fever and no girlfriend, fat dork. So I was just at home by myself.
You were just hot
Yeah. And
from walking up the stairs, and you took your temperature.
I fell asleep, as you do when you're real sick like that, bundled up in a blanket, because when you got real bad fever, like you get like you're hot and cold at the same time. You need more blankets and less blankets.
Yeah.
Like you got the chills, but you're also burning up. Fevers don't hit anyway.
No,
I wrapped myself up in a blanket like real tight, and I fell asleep, and I had these crazy fucking literal fever dreams. Like nightmarish Hellraiser shit. And when I woke up an hour later or whatever, I was fucking drenched in sweat, like soaking wet, right? And I could smell myself, or I could smell a smell that I had never smelled before, and haven't really smelled since. And like it popped in, it like literally my brain just said to me in my own head, it just popped in my head that was the smell of fear.
Yeah.
and to this day, I believe that is what fear smells like. They say scent.
They say you can. Yeah.
They say scent is the
biggest memory.
Yeah. What am I trying to say? Scent is the sense that's most closely tied to memory.
Associated with memory. Yes.
Yeah. Right. So
that's why when I smell Pond's cold cream, I cry.
If I smelled it again, I would know. And I'd be like, that's the smell of fear. That's what I would think. Maybe it's just like, no, that's just how your sweat be different when you got a fever. But
no, they say it's real. Like, dogs can smell it.
I definitely would have assumed, though, had you not made this case, I believe you. But if you'd have just been like, what was that at the end of that? I would have said sickness leaving your body. Because at various points being sick, I smell different. My farts and poop smells different, and it's not always the same. It depends on the illness. So do you think that's possible?
Yeah, I guess it is possible. Although I'm pretty sure it was the same time. I'm pretty sure it was the same sickness. That wasn't the end of it. I didn't wake up better. I think that's the same one. I had to go to the hospital for like 3 days with the fucking flu when I was 18, which didn't hit. And I think that was right before I went to the hospital, I think. But
I've been having sick dreams this weekend, and I had. You ever have a dream where you do something in your dream, and turns out you actually also did it in real life? So I know in a lucid dream, it's like you're dreaming, so you do stuff. But mine was different. I was dreaming, and also then actually did do something in reality. And the reason I know it is because in the dream, I had gotten sponsored by TaylorMade golf clubs. And they were wanting me to do like 3 or 4 videos, and I was freaking the fuck out because we had to do all this type of shit. And I was like, I get on my phone frantically in the dream, and I'm like, I set an alarm that said make golf videos, because I'm like, fuck, they're breathing down my neck. I woke up this morning and had an alarm that said golf videos. I had done it, I did it in my dream. Yeah, I did. Yeah, exactly. I was like sleepwalking. Like I dreamed that thing, and then while dreaming, actually got my phone and set that thing.
I have no history of sleepwalking or getting up and physically doing things. The only thing that I can think of that's remotely like that is kind of funny is one time I was staying at my boy Jared's place in Nashville like 10, 15 years ago, and he's always got cats. He had a kind of a big fat cat at the time, and I was sleeping in a guest bedroom, and I had this dream, like right before I woke up, I had this dream that I had big fat cat, and it was like eating a bunch of cheese in front of me, and was kind of and I was like just looking at this cat going, you ain't supposed to eat that cheese. Stop eating that cheese, cat, right?
You snitch.
And it was just like eating the cheese to spite me in front of me, right? And just being all fat and stuff while I was doing it. And then when I woke up, I realized that in real life, Jared's actual fat cat had chewed up my phone charger right in front of me, like where I was.
Yeah.
Like that cat was eating my phone charger while I was sleeping, and my brain turned that into a dream of me watching a cat eat a bunch of cheese. Is what I'm saying. But I never was consciously awake throughout any of it. It's weird. It's just like how you have a dream sometimes. If you're listening to something, you fall asleep, you'll put that audio into your dream.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that. It's like that type of thing, I think.
Ooh, I got a story. You guys do it with sex?
Nah, my dreams don't ever hit that hard.
You ever like come to having sex? Like you,
I mean, that's right.
Oh wait, in your dream you were, and then you just fucking bust real hard? Because yeah, that happened to me like a week ago, and it was a fucking flood, dog. It was crazy.
I think that's just a wet dream.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I came to, and I was like fucking, like I was fucking
with Amber.
No, dude. My wife don't rape me in my sleep.
She's asleep, Trae.
No. I mean, look, I know since you have a standing consent with it, then yeah, you're right.
No. I started it. I am not like.
Wait a minute. You're not okay.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, everybody. Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
I initiated sex with my wife who was awake, and I was moving, so I was doing it. So I asked her to consent to sex, and she said yes, but I wasn't awake. There's a word for it. I don't remember what it is.
Sleep fucking?
There's a word for sleep fucking. I do it quite often. But one time, this is why I wanted you to shut the fuck up, because I wanted to establish what wasn't rape and then tell the story. Okay, so one time, me and my buddy Nathan Forrester, no relation, Teets, the legend, was like, you need to come with me to this competition at Emory University. This is when we were in college. And he was like, your school will pay you to go. They have this money set aside. Here's what it's called. Go to your dean's office. Write this whole proposal about how much money you need. I did everything Kevin told me to do, and my school gave me $700 to go to Atlanta and party with him.
Nice.
Yeah, so I went down there.
Stuff.
He does.
Yeah, I brought Nathan Forrester with me, and me and him would just like buy a steak dinner and an appetizer and a salad and eat, split it all. But like on the receipt that I had to turn in, it looked like one meal. Anyway, this girl Kevin went to school with, she was kind of friends with all of us. I'd known her from partying at Martin, and maybe I knew her from Cookville. Anyway, she was like, I'm coming back to your hotel room. I don't have a place to sleep. And I was like, well, that's weird, but okay. I kind of thought she was going to try to bang Forrester. I don't know. Long story short, I was dreaming that I was making out with this hot chick. And then in the dream, the hot chick, I was sexually assaulted, and people are going to call me an asshole after what I'm about to say.
Of course, you're a man.
In the dream of me making out with this hot chick, suddenly I'm making out with a walrus, like a fat, giant walrus. Yeah. And then
was it Andy Reid?
I kind of wake up, and I'm like making out with a chick, and I don't really know where I'm at. And then I remember as my brain is gathering consciousness, my hands cannot fit together. Like I am wrapped around a person who I cannot get my hands around. And then I remember being like, oh, I know where I'm at. Yeah. What is going on now? It is possible, I know now, I didn't know this about myself then. It's possible I turned over and started making out with her.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's also possible she did it to me and I stayed asleep. I don't know what went down. What I do know is when I realized where I was at, who I was with, and what was going on, I just turned over. I didn't say anything. I didn't look at her. I just stopped kissing her and rolled over. And then just laid there till I felt like her breathing sounded like sleep. And then I got up and did it.
Just listen to this fat bitch breathe. Did it seem to hit for her when you quit?
No, I don't. No. She was on top of me. She was absolutely making wallering. What I don't know is if she started wallering me because I poked her and said, wake up and waller me. Or if she started wallering me in my sleep.
Yeah. Dude, she wallered you in your sleep. I guarantee it.
Very, very early on in the tour, very briefly, didn't you guys used to a couple times share a bed in the hotel room? You had to? Yeah. You almost got fucked in your butt in your sleep.
I never even thought about it that way. That would have been neat. Dude. It's so funny if Drew accidentally raped me while we were on tour.
Dude, one time, this is before.
Fucking you in the ass.
Dude,
Yeah.
just
Holding my head in the pillow. Fucking walrus ass motherfucker.
Trae, you've heard this, but you've forgotten. This is going to hit real hard for you. Years ago, when we were making black liver sketches,
Yeah.
I woke up in the bed with Corey and this girl where we had passed out, and I was like, "This girl's playing with my foot." But like before I realized it, I was like my foot's being played with, and I started kind of playing back, and then it's kind of like what I was just saying. I kind of woke up, and I was like, "Is this that girl?" And I'm married at the time, and I didn't particularly find her attractive, but I'm like processing it, and I'm starting to play back with the foot. And then I was like, I need to stop. But anyway, I look, and Corey looked at me, and then me and Corey realized together at the same time we were just rubbing each other's foot under the blanket while we were asleep.
Yeah, that's fun.
I was trying to get that dick.
So I start jacking this girl off.
Corey was trying, and
This girl had the
What'd you
biggest
say?
dick I've ever seen.
So I start jacking this girl off. I was like,
It's so
No.
funny though because Corey was trying. He was single. I was definitely sitting there like she's coming. Like, what do I do?
Yeah.
one time in our
Did not hit.
one time in our 20s, more than once actually, but one time in particular, me and Thompson woke up the next morning in a bed at Charles's. You know Charles's apartment. Me and Thompson are in a bed at Charles's apartment, like both in our underwear. Like, I mean, like noses touching each other, right? And it's like if we both had like boners, dicks would just be just like stuck against each other like that. And that happened a few times. I maintain that he used to come get in bed with me after I'd already passed out, but it could have been the other way around.
Sure.
I don't know.
I touched my friend's dick in 5th grade while it was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all done that. Hell, Mark don't get it, but you know, we do it. That fucking piece
It is
of
funny
shit.
how Mark is like, he's older and we make fun of him for being older, but then he's the most papawy about like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the Beatles
It's
did
a
it.
long 5-year difference between me and him, dude.
Yeah.
It's quite a
Like
difference.
internet, MTV, he got all that too late,
Right.
and it
Right.
didn't make him the person it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're that, like millennials, we are that perfect in between generation where, like, you know, Trae has that bit where he's like, when they talk about growing up in the 70s, like, not much is really different than growing up in the 90s in the rural South. And, like, yeah, it's like because we didn't always have the internet. We got it, but we knew what life was like before it. And then the people that came after us, they don't know what life's like. Mark never had, like, Mark was just fucking, you know, having to Xerox everything. He never got none of the hits. Barely had, all he had was Duck Hunter when he was like fucking 15. And then he had to go, then he had to leave town and go write for a goddamn
Fighting a
paper.
war.
Yeah, go fight in a fucking war or whatever. But goddamn, you know, fucking watching your buddies jerk it, you know, and shit, and jerking off of them and being in a communal environment and just discovering your body, it's normal.
I feel like I've heard older people talk about jerking it in the woods with the same magazine. I think Mark was just too gay to be gay, dude.
Mark, he's a fucking homophobe. Is what it is. He goddamn.
And they're all gay. Every homophobe's gay.
Yeah.
Homophobia itself is gay.
To be a little fair to Mark, the most recent example that got put in our group chat was because I found this post on Reddit from this girl who said she had looked in her fiance's phone and him and his buddy were sending each other pictures of their dicks all the time and stuff. And they were supposed to be getting married, and she was like, "Is this man gay? Am I about to marry a gay man?" And like, pretty much the universal response in the comments was people being like, "That man's gay. He's for sure gay.
Yeah.
Leave him room for you can't marry a gay. It's fine that he's gay, but you can't marry a gay man. That guy's closeted, whatever." And I sent it to you guys, and I was like, so
are we gay?
Yeah, right. 'Cause there was a period of time. It's been a long time, but there was a period of time where we used to send each other pictures of our dicks all the time. The three of us and our buddy DJ.
It would
all
always
kinds
be
of
like
nudes and dick pics and stuff. And I was like, so according to Reddit, we like actually is gay.
Yeah.
And Mark
I'm
was like,
pretty
"Yeah,
gay.
you are gay. That's very gay."
I've never denied it. I've been waiting on people to find out I'm gay for a variety of reasons. But I just want to say, though, I guess to illuminate the listener, but also I think context matters. You said nudes, but not really. Like, I remember my favorite one I ever sent y'all. I'm fully nude on a couch in Canada, and I got it tucked between my legs.
Yeah.
That's, for whatever reason, that's funny. Or, as Corey just illustrated, if you're not watching on YouTube, sometimes I would put it on a counter that was slightly too high for my dick, so that when I get off my tippy toes, my penis gets mushed.
Yeah,
but from the bottom up,
Hitlering. Yeah,
that's funny.
It is funny.
Listen, I
sent my rock hard dick to Trae.
Sure. No, and I used to try to emulate.
I mean, I'm happy for you two, but I'm sorry.
No,
that
listen,
is.
Hold on. Let me make my case.
Joke.
No, listen. I used to emulate like tasteful nudes like a girl would take, but in like Corey's bathroom, butt naked, where it's like. You know, where I'm like posing all sensually, but you can see my balls hanging down, you know, below my bare ass or whatever. Like, that's also funny. Like,
just your balls?
Dude.
What in the one I'm thinking of? Yeah,
and we send them to each other after accomplishments in our life. You know what I mean? Like, would you want me to sing you flowers? I'm not gay.
When he first got on an NBC. I'll maintain that's the funniest thing in the world to do. I would have sent you a video of me jacking off if I'd have thought it would have got a laugh.
And like DJ painted clown makeup on his ball sack.
That's hilarious.
Also hilarious.
And we shut it down after that, by the way. We shut it down.
I want to bring up this though before we go. It's Corey. You sitting in your dick rock hard. I don't think there's a joke there. I feel like that's
we
gay.
just done everything else.
yeah, right. Now, that's gay. That's like the time you guys were like, we kissed as a bit, and I was like, who was there? And you were like, nobody. And I was like, well, I don't know if you guys know how jokes work, but I do. I want to say though, and let me walk all the way through this, and you can respond to each point. I think I need to see these tasteful nudes because I know what you're saying. There's a way where if you go so far with the pose,
bring it back.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
Right.
I could already tell you whether or not it's gay, but you didn't send him to me. Now, you only sent him to Corey. I don't remember these.
No,
Is this
I
the
sent him to
group thing?
DJ too because I remember I sent him to DJ too for sure because I remember I put it in our thread at the time. I said, "Is anybody?"
So you threaded these. These weren't whispers.
No, I put it in the thread. I've got some tasteful nudes. If anybody wants some, parentheses, DJ, you've already got them, which you thought was very funny because he did it. And Corey was like, "Yeah, I want them," so I sent them to him.
I remember that.
But I offered them to everybody. I'm just, I'm not going to send them unsolicited.
I remember that. I thought that the bit was the question. I didn't realize you literally then started sending them out.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd already taken them.
This is really funny and gay. This is really funny.
Dude, so my Uncle Mike, I won't say his last name. He's not really my uncle. He's just one of them dudes that was always around. Hey, Uncle Mike, One time, my mom has recently just started going back to church. We can't even get into that because we're about done with this podcast. But she used to be a very, very
definitely
churchy,
gay and not funny.
Yeah, so she used to be a really churchy lady, and everybody she hung out with was churchy. And one time, Mike, who's always been a bit of a fucking spitfire, he comes over to the house. All these church people are hanging out, and him and his then wife, I think it was like his fifth wife or something. They'd just been to the beach, and my mom, and he was like, I got pictures if everybody wants to see. So everybody's looking through all these pictures. They're just nice, like of Destin or whatever. And they get to the middle, and there's one of Mike bent over, butt naked, showing his asshole to like everybody. And of course, my dad's having to pretend it didn't hit for him. You know what I mean? My point is, he ain't gay. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely hit for my dad. Like, seeing a grown man's asshole is funny. You know what I mean? Fucking little sand in the background, water dripping down.
Dude, your dad would definitely dispute that for sure.
Nah,
I know.
hit for him.
No, I know, but he would say, of course,
he would dispute it, but it hit for him so hard seeing that.
All right.
But one time I got him to say that he had seen your dick, or you had seen his dick when you were a kid, and you said after we got off the thing, he like got mad at you because he's like, "You ain't never seen my goddamn dick."
Yeah, you seen my goddamn dick. And I was like, "Yes, I have, you idiot."
Every son sees his dad's dick at some point.
I'm
it's
a distant
fine.
father.
Anyway.
You've never seen my goddamn dick. And we kept talking about how we would love to see. What was it? We were like, I'd love to see Steve McNair suck.
No, it was Eddie George and The Rock having gay sex because of how shredded they both thought. They looked like two Greek gods.
Yeah,
but fucking.
We were talking about Eddie George being gay and how
that was all just really not hitting. It's because he found out that night that a wrestler he loved was gay. Is what started that. Conrad,
Not that it's like it's and Cameron was like, no, he's not gay. It's just that he used to jack other wrestlers off with clothes. He would take a coat hanger, a metal coat hanger, and he would make it and put it around their dick, and he would jack them off like that, so he wasn't touching it. So he's not gay. And my dad's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we got a ride home with him talking about Eddie George getting his ass licked. And he's like, I have no son. I have no son.
It was very funny.
It was great.
I remember he literally goes, not Eddie George.
Oh God! But anyways, it hit for my dad.
That's what I'm gay for, is an old man saying, not Eddie George. That makes me come.
Yeah. All right, where are you going to be this week, Drew?
I'm going to be in Bristol, Tennessee, not till November 8th or 9th. I'm going to be at Halloween this week. If you see me there, you didn't see me. I'm on vacation. I'll be in St. Augustine, Florida, November 23rd. I do have a new Asheville date. I didn't expect to get one soon, but my girl, Melissa, who books those, you know, if she can get the show off, she needs the money, as most people in Asheville do. So we should be doing that in December, and obviously WellRED in December.
Yeah, I'll be in Appleton, Wisconsin this weekend. Then I'll be in Newark, Philly, and Frederick, Maryland, and then Phoenix, and then with these fellers in Nashville, and I got Northern California coming up, and Chicago at the end of the year. Come see me, TraeCrowder.com.
I want to be clear, I made that noise because last time we were in Appleton was February. Appleton in October actually sounds lovely.
In case you didn't hear it, that is TraeCrowder.com, and definitely go ahead and get them Zany's tickets for Nashville, because I've had a bunch of people, whether it be DM me or at me on Twitter, being like, they've already got theirs. You know, them motherfuckers go by quick. So come see us then. Other than that, I ain't doing shit. Go to WeLoveCorey.com. You can see all my bonus stuff, essays. I'm doing some Halloween movie reviews, all sorts of stuff. That's it. Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew. Fart. Hey, y'all, can't stress this enough. Go to TraeCrowder.com to get tickets to see all of us at Zany's in Nashville during Christmas time. It is the only time all three of us are together. The tickets always sell out, and it's a riot. TraeCrowder.com. See y'all in Nashville. Skew.